Oh yeah. I figure I hear about as good a place as any to sit in.
Yeah, this is nice.
Yeah, then when we feed the ducks,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to move the camera, we'll probably go out that way.
Okay.
So, yeah. Good
Well,
to go.
we'll see if they're smart ducks and watch us if they're watching see.
Yeah. Which I actually need to do something because I do not want to get any phone calls, so I've got to. Anyway, what'll happen if I don't put it on airplane mode is if a call comes in, it stops my recording and I don't even realize it.
Mm.
Yeah, and then anything I've done, it's all lost.
Oh wow.
Okay, all right, let's go ahead and dish this out first, and then we'll say grace. She said yours is the bottom. Yeah. All right. So this is going to be yours here. And I think I'll just do that, put the bag down, which actually what I might do is this here, and this way we have a trash bag.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that'll work right there.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay.
The condiments here. So.
All right, and then, okay, this is yours, that's your soup.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that too.
And then, there's puppies, I think this is mine.
Yeah.
This is mine, the chicken tenders. And, ooh, we'll have to see who's, okay, this is my biscuit. I'm guessing your biscuit's in your tray.
Okay. And there's butter here and mayo and all that.
All right, I'm gonna put that in there for now, and probably should just leave these napkins in the bag.
Oh, yeah,
otherwise they
okay,
blow
yeah.
them off.
That's true, yeah, unless we need them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought I got more. It must have been in my other pocket or something. I thought I got more pocket cream.
Oh, no. You didn't get it?
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I've got two here.
We hear you, we're gonna feed you shortly.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Maybe we ought to feed them before we, I don't know, what do you think? Before
Well,
and after?
before and after.
We can do that. Yeah. Let's pray,
Okay.
and then that way we bless the bread we give them too.
Okay.
Lord Father God, we come to you this day. We love you so much. We ask you, we thank you for your grace and your mercies, Lord, and we ask you to forgive us of our sins. Wash us clean, Lord. Show us any impurities, any darkness, any dark spots within the depths of our heart, Lord. Wash us clean and spotless, without wrinkle, without blemish, Lord, that we may stand and sit boldly before you in your throne. We ask you, Lord, now to cleanse all of this food for the nourishment of our body, the nourishment of our bodies, and of the ducks' bodies. In Jesus Christ's mighty name, yeah, and just bring your Holy Spirit down upon us, Lord. Blanket us with your presence. And blanket the ducks as well. Yeah, and the viewers. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, yeah, let's do that. We'll each take a quarter of the loaf. The bench is there. Yeah, that's what we do. And then we can sit out there. Here, let me do this first.
Yeah.
So, hold on.
Okay.
That's almost half the loaf right there.
Yeah.
Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, so all right. There's your quarter. My quarter. And yeah, oh, you got a good idea. Half before and half after.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man. We'll just go sit at the bench, and they may just surround us. Let's see. There we go. All right.
There was a goose there. He gave the call, I guess, and went off. I don't know.
Like, hey, there's people over here.
Where'd he go?
Well, there's one over there and there's three coming at us here.
And maybe he went to get the others. I don't know.
But I bet if we sit here, I bet they'll all come to us.
I don't know.
I guess I just go spread out and see what happens.
Oh. Even the water first, I don't know.
Oh, no, they're making their way over though, at least two of them are. Huh, she just disappeared. I'm gonna leave them away.
Okay. He may come to me. I might want to come over there.
There we go. So,
I guess we just have to be patient. Let's try to trust people.
the other one's the most inconvenient one.
That doesn't look too skinny.
Oh, he has literally got a waddle too. I bet he is a fat dog.
What about?
I'm still, was humbled by that other one. He just straight up disappeared. He's like, this guy.
I was trying to get a couple more a little closer there, but he hadn't got me, so they get everything done. Hey, come on.
It was almost like. Jelly full, waddle. Call it waddle.
Should we go any closer? Come on. See, there's more there.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna leave a breadcrumb all the way up to the pavilion. Never know what'll happen, right? And that way, yeah, maybe the viewers will get to watch the ducks come up in the pavilion and eat. I don't know. It might be that I didn't cut these pieces up enough either. I don't know.
Well, mine are pretty small. They're waiting. They're
Yeah.
waiting for me to go up here. I think they want us to go up here.
Yeah, I think they're, yeah, more than likely. So, I think what I'll do here, maybe I can reposition the tripod and give a view of us and the ducks. I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, I forget that. I think I left a couple of coffee creamers in the pocket.
Okay. I think I'll introduce you to anybody that doesn't know who you are. I'm gonna introduce you to
Oh,
the
yeah.
viewers here. All right, so camera's right over there.
Hi.
This here, oh, go
Hi,
ahead.
Mom.
Yep, this is my blessed mother. And for those who don't know, who are new to the channel, of course, many of you already know who she is. You've seen her on here in times past. I don't think she's been on the channel in quite some time now. It's been a while.
Probably not, no.
Yeah.
Because I kind of have my own place over there at the residency center, and
Yeah.
you're mostly at the church, so.
Mm-hmm. And I think I've had you on camera a few times since the People's Convoy, but I don't think much. All right, so just thought I'd bring y'all viewers along with us to enjoy lunch with us today. And let's see, I think my mother got some fish and macaroni and hush puppies, potato soup. What else did you get? I thought there was one other thing, a vegetable or something.
Oh, I was supposed to get a fritter. Oh, it's over there.
No, this is my biscuit. You didn't get your fritter?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Oh, well.
Oh, unless it's in here. It is. There's two of them in here.
Oh.
Throw them away.
Well, then what?
Surely my chicken's in here.
Yeah.
Okay, my chicken's there. So it's okay, everything's here. So yep, you
Okay.
got your fritter, and either I paid for a second fritter and didn't know it, or they just gave me a second one.
Yeah. That's
So, oh, you didn't get a vegetable. Oh, yeah, you got the potato soup for the vegetable, okay.
yeah.
And then the catfish. And then as for me, I got macaroni, fries, brisket, couple of chicken tenders. Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't get any
And a biscuit.
vegetable.
No, I was going to, but it just didn't work out quite the way I wanted it to. I was gonna
No.
get that corn, but it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. All right, so butter here for the biscuit. So I guess we'll set this aside then, since that's, I thought, for some reason, I thought that was my chicken.
No, yeah.
You got your biscuit, okay, so we're good. they didn't even keep these biscuits warm. Huh. Oh, anyway, whatever.
The stirrer, oh, here's the stirrers down here for the coffee.
And just to let y'all know where we're at, we're over here at the Robbers Cave State Park. And normally, when we come out here and go on film, usually we're walking the trail out here. But this go around, we came out just for me and my mother to have, we kind of try to have a once a month outing, me and her, just to get away from everybody and everything, and just have some serenity time between us and the Lord. This go around, the restaurant was closed. We last few times, 2 or 3 times we came out here, is we go to the restaurant and enjoy a nice meal on the balcony overlooking the water and the ducks and all that. But this time it was closed, so we drove the 5 or 6 miles into Wilburton, went to, I forget the name of the grocery store. It was kind of an off name. And we went to the deli and picked up all this. And then drove back here to enjoy it. Of course, now it's kind of getting cold.
They're still, Goose is still looking like, am I gonna come up or not?
Which one?
He's standing on the shore there, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Looking around like.
Well, good. I'm glad I picked up that honey. I wasn't sure if I should or not. I wasn't thinking about putting it on the biscuits though, but I think I will now.
Yeah,
I got-
you saw me.
Yeah, which I got 2 apiece, so I mean 2 for each of
I
us.
thought that's why you did it.
Actually, it wasn't on that one. I just grabbed it because I was like, honey's expensive and I'll probably use that, but I didn't want to get greedy either and grab
Aw,
any
I'm
more.
sorry.
No. It was perfect. It was meant to be that way because
Okay.
I grabbed 2 of everything, 2 for
Okay.
each of us.
Yeah.
And the honey, I just, in my mind, I didn't, but the Lord did. That's why he had me to grab that exact amount.
That's cool.
Lord's probably sitting there like, really, boy? Really? You getting greedy? Let's see what this brisket tastes like. That old boy that was in front of me, he said it's real good. Not bad. Needs a little bit of something, some kind of seasoning, but not bad. I don't think they put much seasoning on it of any kind. Of course, they probably have to do that for legal reasons, because
Yeah.
different people have different allergies. So I'll put a little salt on it. I bet that'll kind of make up for it.
Well, we made 2 geese and a duck happy.
Good. Oh yeah, those other 2 geese came up there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping they find the breadcrumbs coming up here. Come up here and, oh man, I didn't even put all that on there. Yeah. That's gonna be some salty brisket. Whatever. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll come up here and eat with us. If so, I'll just tear up some more bread while I'm sitting here eating and feed them. Do what?
He's looking. Duck's leading the way.
There you go. Yeah. And no, I really don't know why I bought that sense about honey, because I just bought, I still have about a half a bottle left, plus I just bought a whole fresh bottle that I ain't even opened. I think some of the old ways in me kind of kicked in that precise moment.
Yeah. Earl bought some for cheap.
That's what I bought mine for, was that chamomile tea I've been drinking each night. I didn't drink none last night though, because I was already pretty tired. Oh man, I don't know what in the world happened. Somehow I stayed up till, oh, that's what happened. I've got a video to put out that's uploaded, and I was gonna do the edits when I woke up this morning. Or, not the edits are all done. I was gonna do the title and description, because it's uploaded to YouTube, but when you first upload, you gotta make it private so that copyright can be checked and stuff like that. Otherwise, you chance getting a strike, and 3 strikes, you lose your whole channel. So, but if you make your videos private before you publish, it eliminates the risk of getting a strike. And so anyway, that's how I do it. Well, I forgot to put a title and description on that video this morning. So it's sitting there, it's ready to go. I just gotta take about 3 minutes to put the title and description there and set it to public. Which it's one I've already put out, but I had my audio way out of whack and my speed pitch, which the speed pitch I did on purpose. I figured the viewers would want it that way, just, you know, just speed through the video and get away the important parts.
Yeah.
But I went a little extra and I sped up because the video was so long and I was trying to condense it. I let my volume, my voice when I was talking be sped up too. And so I'm just doing this number. I'm still legible, you can still understand me, but it's not like anybody would really be able to process what I'm saying. And I had absolutely no likes on the video at all. I had like 200 viewers, give or take, which is, it has been a good number, is a good number compared to some of my other videos. And so I realized people wanted to see it. In the view duration, the average view duration was 59 seconds. Absolutely no likes. And that's not how the rest of my videos go. I don't have that small of view duration, and I don't have no likes at all on a video. And then on top of that, I had at least one person comment, hope the Lord blesses you with a better mic and speed pitch. And I thought it was just somebody being a jerk. I didn't think nothing about it. I just kind of brushed it off. And a couple days later, some reason the Lord had me to click on that video to watch it. And then I seen what that dude was talking about. I'm like, oh. So then I went back into the comments and I typed back to him. I'm like, oh, you're so right. But it took, I don't know if it took another day or two before the Lord kind of got to me. And, oh, I know what it was initially when I realized it.
Nope, right, there's plenty.
When I first realized it, I had to make a decision. Here's some more ducks. Yeah, they're coming now. Well, anyway, I had to make a decision because the view count was still going up, and it was still getting clicks, and that don't happen very much on my videos either. So something to do with the video was causing the click-through rate to be good, real good, but once they was on it, the rest of the analytics was horrible. And I'm like, okay. But if I would have deleted the video and reposted the edited version or any of that at that point, I think the edited version, the corrected version, would have just been a dud. Sensing like the Lord was like, let it be, don't do anything right now, give it a couple of days, then I want you to correct it. All right, Lord. So that's what I did. It was supposed to be published first thing this morning, but it'll get published this evening. Like I said, though, I got so much content. Oh my goodness, I'm staying so busy. Non-stop edits. I wish these people watching that give me grief, I wish they'd realize the truth of the matter. They all think I'm doing this for financial gain.
No.
I'm making a dime off this.
They don't understand all the time takes and energy. Maybe.
I'm putting in roughly 15 hours a day at least on edits. At least. I go in, I take a nap, lay down for about an hour, I get back up, I work. I get maybe anywhere from 2 hours to 5 hours of sleep at night. I'm right back up working on the edits again. I mean, in between spending time in my prayer closet,
Yeah.
you know, and eating. All the rest of my time is spent edits. And I haven't been sleeping much. Trying to push this stuff out, get it done, because the longer it takes me, the more content is building up. So, what, say, median of 15 hours a day of edits times 7, what is that? 15, 30, 60, 90, about 105 hours on median that I'm spending per week on edits. And that's not including the time it takes me to actually make the content. That's just the edit time.
Yeah. Or like to a normal person and their 40-hour a week.
And the normal person at least gets paid for their 40 hours. Well, you know, I get paid, just not monetarily.
Yeah.
Lord blesses me.
Oh, yeah. And we don't have a time clock, that's what I tell people. I keep busy, but I don't have a time clock,
Yeah.
except for appointments. Like,
Look at that duck there just sitting under the bench.
yeah, taking a nap, I guess.
He's sitting in the shade. Oh. Mm-hmm.
Wow. I didn't realize how big these pieces are. Ooh.
Mhm. Well, I think we spent $32 for everything. And I know for me, I'll definitely be taking leftovers back.
Yeah, yeah.
Where,
Oh, sorry, yeah.
whereas in the restaurant, we spend anywhere from 70 to 100, you know, after tip and everything, you know. I mean, I still take leftovers home from there. But we're doing it this way, it was about half the cost.
Oh, a third.
Well, I have to a third, well, something like that, yeah. Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I mean, once a month, but still, you know, that's still a lot. Once a month.
Crazy thing is, I mean, the cost of this meal, the price has gone up so much that it's just about as cheap, if not even cheaper, to do this than to buy regular groceries and cook it. Sad.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes some of those guys. But they just went together, all their friends.
Maybe they went and said, I left you some.
Yeah. That white one sitting under the bench, he ate several good, you know, good sized pieces.
Mhm.
4 of them. Okay, so we started out with 3, and the 4th one that went missing, and then we got 5 altogether. Blonde, that dirty blonde cat.
Yeah.
she got brave last night. Yeah. Well, she tried to get brave a couple other times, and I didn't catch it. I'd be going out the door to feed the cats, and there's been at least one or two times where she was standing at the door, like leaning up against it apparently, and I'd open the door and like she almost fell in. But it was like, I don't know how she was doing it, because like her head was right there as if she was ready to walk in whenever she about fell in. But I don't quite get that. It was as if maybe her paws was resting against the door, and I opened it and she just kind of fell in. But anyway, as I opened the door, just automatically I'm stepping out as I'm opening the door. And so I'm already in that motion by the time I realize it. And of course, me stepping out kind of, frightened her or whatever. Not much, but enough that it made her back up. And so I'm like, okay, I gotta watch that in the future. I gotta really look at my camera, see if because I can't quite. She almost hides just in that little niche right there at the bottom of my door, where I can't really see that one little strip. And somehow she gets in there and like hides, even though she's not meaning to hide. And so I can't really see that on the camera. I mean, if I look real super close, then I can kind of maybe tell, but being that she's dirty blonde, she just kind of blends into the concrete. So last night, I was real careful in how I did things, but I also went and got some soft cat food. So, and she's pregnant, so, I want to try to take care of her a little better, because she needs it, and she's real super friendly with me. So, I think I already told you this, but I kind of just, anyway, blah, blah, blah. Took soft food out there, la-di-da-da-da. At the end of it, I don't know if I told you all this. I didn't tell you this. Because if I had, I would have told you the rest. Well, anyway, I gave her some soft food. She ended, I think I did tell you about it. Anyway, she ended up sharing that soft food with some of the other cats.
Yeah, I remember that.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know what it was. I did tell you that part. And that was after I fed them, but what I didn't tell you is I decided to do something I don't really ever do, which was to take some extra food out there a few hours later. And like I seen her out there, and so I wanted to see if I could. It was just some hard food. I didn't take no more soft food. But I wanted to see if I could just get her by herself, where she could actually not feel like she had to share or whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't work out so well that way, but I ended up sitting out there and just kind of sitting on the floor of the concrete, patio or whatever, leaning up against the front door. I probably sat there 20 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, I don't know.
Yeah.
While she went back and forth between eating and coming over to me and loving on each other. Yeah. So then, finally I'm like, okay, well, you're kind of past that, but lovey-dovey thing for the most part. I could tell she'd still come back more if I sat there longer, but the bulk of it was over.
Yeah.
And I was tired of sitting there, especially, where people driving by can see me, and so, well, okay, it's time to go in. So I very carefully got up, and I kind of watched as I opened the door to make sure Tiptoes wasn't there. But the dirty blonde cat's still sitting there. So I open that door, and she's looking at the door, kind of looking around, up at me, looking at that door, and I'm like, do you want to go in? And so I just kind of left the door open, and she come up, she's looking, she acts like she's about to step in, she backs up, looks in, backs up, and after a few times of that, in a few minutes, she finally goes ahead and steps in. I'm like, okay. She stepped in a few steps, and then she kind of backed up and came back out. I'm like, okay. I waited a little bit longer. Finally, she went ahead and stepped on the unpulley and, excuse me, she went just a little bit past the podium and she was inspecting. I'm like, okay. So I went ahead and stepped in and I shut the door, but I stayed there at the door. And she kind of looked back at me. She looked at that door. So I opened the door back up. I was like, you want back out? You know, because I didn't want her to think I was, you know, holding her hostage. I didn't want to freak her out, especially being pregnant and all. So I opened the door back up and she went ahead and went back out. But I think by me doing that, letting her know that she's free to do whatever she wants to do, I think in the future, that'll make a difference with her. I think I'm just, I haven't ever given any of them stray cats a name, but I think I'm about naming this one Blondie. She's just so sweet. I think part of it was, like, I really want to say at least one of them other cats, or at least that kind of brownish one. But he can't be more than about a year old, like I said. I don't even think he's that old. I'm pretty sure that he's probably one of her kids.
Yeah.
But, and I figured as much as she lets me pet her, I figured that eventually that cat, you know, because he's right up there on the deck when I'm doing this now. Like he's gotten past fear enough that he'll be on the deck and he'll eat. But if I try to pet him, no, runs away. He's too scared. I really would have figured in all this time that he would see me petting that other cat, and she's pregnant. He's got to know that, you know, and she's letting me pet her, and I'm a friend, you know, so I must be a friend. No, he still won't. He won't open up.
They're strange, I know, because Tiptoes' grandson is still skittish. I mean, his dad can be around, and I can be petting his dad and everything, and of course, it got to the point a couple months ago that he was letting me pet him, even though the other cats weren't right there. But then I picked him up twice to try to see if that would help. No, that didn't. Now we got regressed a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I call him Little Junior.
Yeah.
Junior is really Tiptoes Junior. So his grandson, which I'm still not sure if it's male or female. But
I'm gonna call it a kitten. I mean, it's not really a kitten, but it's definitely not grown.
Right.
But I'm just call it a kitten. A kitten. He's gotten used to me enough that the longer I sat there last night, he's kind of, because I had the food, you know, probably from where I'm sitting to about this bag, so I could reach him. You know, anyway, he got to a point where he was sitting there eating, and he wasn't really looking up at me too much anymore. Like he was, you know, he was getting comfortable enough for that. I mean, every once in a while, I'll still glance up at me to make sure I'm not doing anything, but then just focus fully on the food. So I sat there and I kind of debated. I'm like, I can probably get my hand on him if I want to. Should I or should I not? I kind of hem-holed for several minutes. Finally, I'm like, I'm gonna try it. So I did, and I got my hand on him. I mean, I could have grabbed him if I wanted to, but that's not the point of it. I just slowly put my hand on him, you know, tried to pet him. As soon as he felt my hand, like he never seen it coming, but as soon as he felt it, boy, he was gone.
Yeah.
Which, he must be knowing something because he darted off, but he stopped once he was out of reach of me, and he looked at me, and he started creeping back over towards the food. I just looked at him, I said, don't worry, I won't try it again, So he kind of creeped back over, he started eating again, but this time he was keeping his eyes on me this time.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, you ain't getting me again, buddy.
they can be kind of unpredictable sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Like neighbor cats, some of them will come right up and others,
Got trash right here.
oh, okay.
Anyway, you were saying?
Neighbor cats are kind of that way, sometimes they'll just come right up and, speaking of coming up, what in the world? They're chasing you, but you're off, I think.
Hey, there's plenty. There's plenty. Ah. There's plenty of bread. One bite.
They're chasing them off like, okay, it's our turn, go. I'm turning around and coming back after they chased them off. I think. Oh. Or did they go back far enough? Oh, now they're turning around going after them. What is the deal?
Oh, that's messed up.
Yeah, they were going to eat, but then they turned around and...
You're chasing them away. Bullies.
The duck's getting into it. Whack, whack.
That makes me want to go see if I can figure out how to follow them other ducks so I can feed them.
Well, I think the other ducks were the ones that ate. One of these others are new ones that came, I think.
How would you know, though? I mean, they all
Yeah,
look alike.
I know.
Except for that white one.
Oh, they chased them up and they're not eating either.
Well, that one stayed. That other one got in the water and was like trailing behind. No, he's kind of stopped. He's seen them off, and then he stopped. He's coming back now.
Huh. I don't know.
Yeah, this food done got all cold on me. I'll have to nuke it back at the church. I didn't get full, but it got too cold. That's why I get the coffee so much.
See if I can find what's in there. Well, wait a minute.
What?
You want these, do you want them in the bag or the box?
Are you gonna take the fish back with you?
Yeah, I guess I can put it here. And I can put the condiments in here.
Well, I mean, it's fine in the bag. I don't need the box.
Whichever you want, okay. Whichever you want. Those there. And just like
Oh, you still got your fritters too.
that.
Or fritter.
Yeah.
Or I'll take one and leave you with the other one. Might put that fritter. I mean, you only got one fritter, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I didn't order one, but I'm thinking maybe she mistook and
Yeah.
thought I did. I probably got charged for it and just didn't know it.
Yep.
So, we'll do, here, I'll do this. Let me just set that there for a moment. There, I'll do that, and I'll put your fritter.
Oh,
You got
here.
room, you got room in there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, we'll do it that way then. And this box, then. All right, so now, I'll just close that up.
Yeah, I guess I'm getting it. Did I get it right?
Oh, no, it goes this way.
Oh. Last at the end, okay.
Yeah, and then latches down here. There you go.
Okay. It'll be 12 plus the 13, 14. The third was 14, so. Say for $15, got 2 meals anyway. Basically, I mean, because, yeah, there's
Yeah.
number 2, yeah.
Yeah, it'd definitely be a second meal for me, definitely, and
Yeah.
it looks like for you as well.
So, about $7.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. McDonald's would be 5, but you get twice as much here.
And definitely a lot worse on your health,
Oh, yeah. Mm.
and really McDonald's ain't 5. I don't know how you pull off 5, but
Well, with hats. You know, they do have $5 meals, they do. But they're in between the kid and adult size.
Okay.
So, I mean, for a smaller adult, they're not. They'd
Yeah.
satisfy me, but no, they wouldn't you, it'd take you too.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
should have said that, but,
You're fine, it would.
well, men just have a different.
Hey, the good, the bad, the ugly, all the in between, right?
Speaking of that, the guys were sitting side by side in the subway. And I tell you, oh, poor dear, the carpenter there, he's getting smaller because he was sitting Richard was like, I just about busted out laughing, like, oh man, I can't do this.
Richard was towering over him, huh?
Uh-huh.
Oh, boy.
I thought, oh no. He doesn't want to know that.
He probably already knows it. Maybe that he don't wanna hear it anymore.
Yeah. But, yeah, we all started out the same, but we're all shrank a couple inches, so.
Yeah.
Anyway. And I'm in between. Oh. I think I'm gonna put stain on the ceiling, because Earl put boards on the ceiling.
Talking about in the prayer room?
Yeah, in the building. I'm gonna stain
Your
it.
prayer room.
Well,
I'm
yeah.
saying that for the viewers, cause we
Yeah.
each have our own prayer room.
Right, that's true.
I have one there in Quinton, you have one in
Yeah.
college.
I mean, someone else might occasionally, but yeah, it's mainly, at the
Yeah.
moment anyway, yeah.
So that, so you're gonna put stain on that ceiling. Those boards he put up though, is, hopefully it's no thicker than a paneling.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, well. it-
Otherwise, if it's, sorry to interrupt, but if it's thicker than a paneling, when I go in there, whenever I come back next, if it's thicker than a paneling, I might rip it down, Ma.
Okay.
If I don't, it's only gonna be because I don't wanna undo y'all's work, but if I don't rip it down, if it's thicker than paneling, then it's gonna eventually cave the roof in.
Yeah, we don't want that.
It's just
I mean-
a travel trailer.
The studs up, there were studs up there from what I remember, right? Because he said something about doing something, I go, well, I don't care either way.
Travel
Next thing
trailer,
you know,
travel trailer don't have, what you're calling studs
Yeah.
is the rafters.
Yeah,
Rafters in a travel trailer versus a house, you're looking at 2x2 rafters, 2x2 boards, okay? The boards are gonna be about that in diameter. I mean, square, but they're not very big in diameter.
I should have paid more attention because I thought they was bigger than that, but I guess you're right, it shouldn't have been, I don't know. I'll have to check into it.
Yeah, if that I mean, granted, I know that travel trailer is a, all aluminum, skirting, you know, aluminum or metal or something for the roof and the walls, which is, more durable and will withstand the test of time a lot longer than any regular travel trailer will.
Yeah,
And it probably could withstand a little more weight on the ceiling. But I wouldn't test it,
right, I gotcha,
because travel trailers overall just aren't built
okay.
that way. They're built to have nothing more than paneling.
I'll check it before I, thank you for telling me that, guys. Because my knowledge is very limited. And from my experiences with travel trailers, it's with an old 100-year-old house, so that's a totally different picture.
Well, a
Different
house,
animal you're looking at,
a house is built with actual
Yeah.
2x4s and 2x6s.
Yeah.
And so it can handle whatever weight you put on it, basically.
Yeah.
But a travel trailer, no, they're built with 2x2s.
Well, that front room, I think that is tar paper, black tar paper right there.
Well, if it is, that's because the people that had it put that in there.
Yeah.
That ain't nothing factory.
Yeah,
Or if it is, it was tar paper behind paneling.
Yeah.
But if it's tar paper with no paneling or tar paper over paneling, that is not factory. They did that on purpose. But they were the type of people as well that wanted to black out everything, no light at all
Oh,
coming in.
yeah, they even, to black out a window that you can't see through, to want to even black out light, that's crazy.
Well, I guess for me and you, when the sunlight comes up and appears through our windows, it's refreshing.
Yeah,
To a lot of people,
yeah,
well, basically anybody not living with the Lord, or, well, not anybody, because people not living with the Lord still don't do that. But there are people, it usually always be people that's not living with the Lord. People living with the Lord just won't black their windows out to that extent. And there's something about it that's so demonic, you know, and they do that because when daylight hits, they don't want it waking them up. I think my Uncle Ken actually does that with his bedroom windows. He doesn't do it with the rest of the house, but I want to say I don't think he went to the extent of putting like actually blocking the windows off, but I think he has blackout curtains over the windows.
yeah.
So it's not so bad with him, and for him being he's a hermit, disabled, I mean, I get it for him.
Yeah.
But most people, I don't get it. You go to the extent of doing all
Yeah.
that. That's for people that want to sleep till 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon and then stay up all night partying.
Yeah, oh, and another thing, there's things for, pull down blinds there. The hooks for them at that window. I think there's some in the other trailer behind it, I think I'm gonna correct that there. I'm not sure if I really need, sticky paper, but I'll put the blinds down and then put curtains on top of that. Because even if you look out, there's nothing to see, so it's not tempting to look out.
Yeah, and I don't plan on moving any of those trailers anytime soon.
Right. And, he put the board, I told him, go ahead, please, put the board above the window. It's halfway above the window, but there's this much of the window sticking, and,
Okay.
by the door. And so I was just gonna put, the white shelf paper on it. That would allow it to where you can open the slab to where you can get breeze in it if you want. But the way it's slanted, you can't really see anything out of it, you can just get the breeze and stuff, so.
Yeah, you definitely got to do things differently with that one because you're not set up the same height as I am.
Right.
And I'm really not sure how my prayer closet's going to work as the summer progresses with the heat. Because it'll get real hot in that prayer closet because I don't have no ventilation much in there.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I have plenty of ventilation, but it will retain the heat a whole lot more in that little enclosed area, especially with candles burning.
Yeah, and you don't want a fan with candles, so, yeah.
Well, I mean, if the Lord permits, I can probably get one of them little plug-in lamps, you know, they have a clip on it, you know, and I can probably clip it somewhere and just have it aimed at the chair because my habit is I come in, I light the candles, I kneel before him, you know, do my initial, you know, I ask him for forgiveness, I get up, and then I spend most of my time that I'm in there in the chair. You know, then at the end, you know, I kneel before him again just to show my reverence and show that I'm not allowing pride to come in, to enter in any fashion, thereby keeping me humble and not allowing me to think more highly of myself.
Yeah.
You know, so I make sure to kneel before him again as before I exit and blow out the candles. But that initial process coming in and going out, maybe 1 or 2 minutes each, you know, for each. And then I spend however long for the rest of the time in that chair, like I said. I just basically just repeated myself.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, I was kind of relating that to partly how it was done in the monastery and for divine office, partly how I feel comfortable at home. It's basically all, a combination, but just as the Lord leads. But isn't that the way? We just need to be open to the Holy Spirit and let Him lead.
Mhm. Yeah,
That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, I wish that every believer out there would get serious enough with the Lord that they create a prayer closet and actually use it. Not do like I did the first time I created one. Yeah, you remember the first time I created one?
Or was it that closet when I first came there?
It was, in that back bedroom, what's now a closet, that actually originally was a bathroom. I
Yeah.
just ripped everything out.
Yeah, you ripped it out after I got there.
Yeah, and then I pulled that, and then I think I put that carpet down, those square carpet pieces. And then I used it as a prayer room for a short season, but then I let life get in the way, I stopped using it, and then over time, it just started getting used for storage, and now it's
Yeah,
nothing left of the prayer closet at all.
right.
There might be there might still be a prayer or two hiding somewhere on the walls behind the clothes.
Yeah.
Tacked up there.
Yeah, I think both places, both closets I used a couple times, gotten some good intercessory prayer, but yeah. I mean, it's one thing the Lord can use it, like I'm in my prayer room sometimes and my study area, and I do feel the anointing there, and I do feel it in the bed at times too. But I'm always aware, and it teaches us so much throughout the scriptures about how sensitive the Holy Spirit is and how easily He can, you can get distracted and He'll, Spirit will leave. So it just doesn't, unless you have that special place, it's very rare that it can last very long.
Yeah, and the other thing to it that I realized, the prayer closet that I built the first time, about 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think one of the issues was I built it too big. And what happened was I started putting stuff in there to store, thinking, I got plenty of room here, because I'm really only using this section over here to do my prayers in. I don't go over to this side. So then once stuff started getting put in that other side, because I used that excuse, it just slowly started creeping over till it took up the whole closet. Oh, and then I put my clothes rod in there. That was the final straw when I put the clothes rod in there.
Yeah. It's just, yeah.
So I guess my point on that, and that's just for the viewers, it is very important that when you create your prayer closet, no bigger than 7 foot long by 5 foot wide. That's my experience. The first one I created, what do you think was the dimensions of that? Probably twice that. I'm gonna say probably 8 or 10 foot, probably like 10 foot wide. Well, the house is 16 foot altogether. There's like maybe 3 or 4 over there. I'm gonna say 10 to 12 widthways, and probably 5 to 6 feet lengthways.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's at least 5 lengthways, at least. Honestly, it's at least 5, maybe 6. But we'll just call it 5. And then the width is, it's got to be at least 12, and that was way too big.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons for the monastery, like most monasteries, is the simplicity, so that there's less distractions in the first place.
Yep.
And why they have what they call cells. That's their purpose is for prayer.
Sadly, I can't call anything a cell over there though.
Yeah, they don't understand.
Yeah, people don't understand, and
Mm-hmm.
and they think about it. Everybody wants to start calling me a creep.
And yeah, if they're not Catholic anyway, and don't understand at all about monasteries.
Which, I gotta admit, I didn't know when the Lord was having me build those. I'm thinking, oh Lord, what are you doing to me? Because I can see people getting so wrong of ideas. Well, when it comes, because my main concern was how I was gonna do the doors,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that every one of those rooms was gonna get doors. I honestly thought that the whole way through it, even until the completion. And then, but I still hadn't figured out how to do it, you know, because of
Yeah.
the layout and design and everything. I just hadn't quite figured that one out yet. And then you mentioned the curtains, and I'm like, I think my initial thought was to shut it down, but I didn't say that. And then within a few moments of listening to you, I was like, yeah. And then I remembered the conduit pipe,
Mm-hmm.
and it all just went perfectly, just went beautifully. And so instead of having doors, I have curtains.
Mm-hmm.
So now people can't you know, get the stupid idea. They come in and they see doors on it, and you know, hear somebody refer to it as a cell. They can't, you know, they can't get away with that because there's no way to lock them in there. But on a spiritual level, they are cells.
Yeah,
On a physical level, to our definition of a cell, they're not.
right.
But like you said, ain't nobody gonna understand that.
Well, that's how the Lord does. He does things His way to be in Christ. We're not supposed to be friends of the world, think like the world, and they don't understand those things, and we just have to accept that fact that we may not be understood. In fact, a lot of times we don't understand what the Lord is doing until it actually happens.
Yeah.
We have to faith it, trust Him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it's all about. Walking by faith.
I'm gonna go grab something out of the car. I'll be back in a moment.
No,
See if those ducks come back anymore.
I guess
That white one, he is just whacking me up.
that's a cute one.
Yeah, just sitting there staring at us like, it's like he's hoping for something out of us, watching us to see what we're gonna do and hoping for something.
But he doesn't know what, and we don't either, huh?
Oh, he probably knows what, but we don't. Unless it's just that he wants us to leave, you know, the rest of the bread here, like maybe he knows that the rest of that loaf sitting there and he's waiting to see if we'll leave the rest of it.
Yeah. That's funny.
I'll be back here in just a second.
Okay. You know what?
Do you have your phone on yet?
No, I'll come get it. Oh, yeah, the cat thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to know what time it is.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing too, because I want to make sure I don't miss mass and.
Right.
Because I know we ain't gonna sit here that long.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I could have brought this back. I don't need that. Let's see. That. is,
Oh, look. The vulture came and picked up a piece of bread when we was both gone. Flew off with it.
oh,
I guess it was a vulture.
well, there was a crow I know once I saw.
What's that black one there flying?
Crow, I think.
Okay, well that was the same type that flew off that way with the bread.
I don't remember like I should, but then sometimes it goes so fast that.
Yeah. I'll get to see it on the replay when I watch the video, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the video picked it up. Hopefully it did.
One thing, I'm not sure yet what I'm kind of listen to the word about is cost-wise. Do I put a limit on it? I mean, or
On the
co-
prayer
cost
closet?
of it?
No, you don't put a limit on it. It's whatever, that is one area you do not put a limit on. I'll explain it to you this way. When they built the temple, we're not building a temple, okay? But when they built the temple or they built the Ark of the Covenant or any of that, anything that the Lord told them to build, when the Lord personally instructs us to build something, okay, then, I mean, if the Lord personally instructs somebody to build a chapel, then okay. But when the Lord personally instructs somebody to build something like the Ark of the Covenant or the temple or whatever it may be, He always says, use the finest of everything. You want the finest gold, finest this, finest that. Oh my goodness, why did I forget the name of it? The candlestick, the 7 candlestick.
Menorah?
Menorah. When they rebuilt the menorah here recently, in preparation for the new temple, whenever that may be, it cost them like over $1 million just to build that menorah, because it had to be solid gold, and it had to be like 7 or 9 feet tall. I forget what it was. So you're talking about this big, huge candlestick. One thing, just one thing, one item. This is one item out of many, many items to go into this temple. But every item is to be built of without cost in mind. That menorah by itself, they spent over $1 million to have that built because it had to be solid gold. If I remember correct, the entire thing had to be gold, and it had to be the best quality of gold.
Yeah, if you go back in the Old Testament and look with the specifics,
Well, do we see any examples in the New Testament? If not, then we have to look to the Old Testament.
Right.
Because the things that are not talked about in the New Testament, that means those things have not been done away with if they're not rediscussed in the New Testament.
Right.
So, the takeaway here, when the Lord instructs something to be built, the cost is of no importance. Now, if we're building an empire for ourselves, no.
That would explain why I feel like I'm supposed to, for the study room for the front, is make it from stuff that's there. I mean, don't really spend any money on it,
Okay.
unless it's material, a few things that I'll be used both places, but not specifically buy anything
Yeah.
for that part.
I don't know, on yours, I mean, on mine, on my study, I already had my study set up how I liked it, and I just transferred everything over. But I don't have the same setup like you do, okay? What you're doing, I really feel like, though you shouldn't treat it the same as the prayer room, in as far as no matter the cost, like financial cost, I still don't think that you should necessarily just use whatever supplies we have and just plain Jane it, just redneck it, with what we have. Because for you, see, I've got a little bit different of a layout, but I also, my layout is pretty much everything's new anyway. So that's why I was able to transfer over.
Oh, Yeah.
And actually, now that I think about it, yeah, everything's new. The flooring's new, it's all new. All the shelves that my books are sitting on, all new. My office desk, though it wasn't, I didn't buy it personally brand new, it was still like new. The rack under it, new. The lamp, new. The printer, new. Well, relatively, it still looks new. So it still looks good. Nothing in my office looks tacky, except for maybe the breaker box sitting on the wall there.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
nothing I can do about that. You know,
Yeah.
breaker box is just where I have to go. But everything else is new. I didn't worry about the cost. But even at that, even if I had of, you have a little bit different layout. There's something about your layout because your layout is like almost combining your, even though, you know, you've got that understanding now to make that prayer room completely separated,
Yeah.
it's still almost one with that study, whereas mine isn't. Mine's a different layout. But with mine, something you gotta understand is all my interior structures, all my walls, everything is brand new. All your walls are not gonna be brand new.
Right.
So what you do, I feel anyway, that whatever you're able to do, I don't know. I don't even know that, honestly, your study, I would say don't worry about the cost on it either, but not necessarily to the magnitude of the prayer room. The prayer room just absolutely dead set.
Right, yeah.
No question about it. If the Lord tells you to, I don't care how much money it is.
Yeah,
I don't
that's why-
care.
yeah.
I don't care if it breaks me and you, and we have to suffer for the entire month, the rest of the month, or whatever it is. Me personally, this is my
Yeah.
my thought. Okay, you know, if the Lord tells you to do it, you do it. And if you need my help to do it, tell me. And that's one area I'm not going to scuffle about.
Well, that's why I went with the paint that I felt like the Lord wanted, you know. It's, I maybe could have got you know, I guess that's one place not to quibble about cost, because I could have probably got it $10 cheaper again.
Yeah.
But no, you know, I just saw what the Lord wanted, and I just knew that was it.
Here's what I want you to do. You remember how when me, you, and Pam would go out to eat, and you go looking at you'd always start to gripe at it, and me and Pam would both get on you. Stop it! Don't look at the prices. Get what you want. Don't look at the prices. Every time you think about anything to do with the prayer room, if thinking about God and how He doesn't want you to worry about the cost, doesn't do it, think about me and Pam yelling at you. Okay?
Yeah.
Don't look at the cost.
Yeah, my mom overdid that with me growing up.
I get it, but there's just some area, I get it. We need to be frugal,
Yeah,
but there are a couple of areas in life where
yeah.
you don't need to look at the cost. That prayer room's one of them, and when you're going to spend time with family and friends, I mean, if you're doing it every day or, real frequently, then okay, start counting the cost. Be frugal.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it once a month or a couple times a month, you don't worry about the cost.
Yeah.
Because the rewards outweigh any of the cost.
Right. And there's a fact too, it's a little bit different, honey, but still, you gotta think of it for other people too, because I'm having 2 study areas. I mean, one over at my trailer there, and then one over on the trailer on the other side.
Yeah, but I bet you, if you set it up the way the Lord inspires you to set it up without worrying about the cost, I bet you'll very seldomly use your regular study anymore.
Well, I'm fine with my regular study. It's like what I had in my trailer before, I only have like a third of it in there now, and it's still too much.
What I'm getting at is, the reason I say that
is because if you set things up the way the Lord instructs you to set it up over there at that trailer, okay, with prayer room and study and on that one trailer, when you walk in there, no matter how it's set up, when you walk in there, the presence of the Holy Spirit, this has just been my experience, the presence of the Holy Spirit is going to overflow so much in there, whereas in your regular study, yeah, it might be nice, you might feel his presence, but once you're all said and done, the magnitude of how much you feel his presence is going to be so intense in the new study that's set up according to how he wanted it to, instead of how you wanted to, that maybe without even realizing it, you'll end up, a couple weeks into it realizing, I don't even use my other study anymore. And then you'll ask yourself, well, why is that? And then of course my words today will come back into your ears. That's why.
It's because the way he wanted.
Yeah.
And if I do it right, whoever follows me, if when the Lord leads me
to the convent, monastery, whatever.
There'll be prayerfully 2 areas, there'll be,
well,
this is set up.
Truth be told, if that day ever comes, I mean, I'll let the Lord work on me. But honestly, I mean, at least at first, and maybe indefinitely, I don't know, I'll still leave the place set up as if you're coming back. But if I don't, if eventually I do change it, it's just going to be another living quarters. I'm going to do away with whatever study area you put in there. More than likely, if I have it pegged in my head, pictured in my head, the way you've described it, it just takes up too much space in there.
Okay, which trailer are you talking about?
The one, the good one, the one we just put the door in.
Oh.
Oh, you got another study somewhere else?
No, I was just trying to, okay.
I mean, I don't know how you got it set up in
Oh,
there.
you mean Pam's own trailer?
Yeah. Her old trailer.
Oh, yeah, well, my study area is where the table is, we're.
No, well, I mean, as long as it don't extend past that table, then whatever.
Yeah.
But you gotta realize too, if people are living in there, and they're gonna actually wanna use the table for eating at.
Yeah, most people aren't,
They're not into that much studying.
Yeah.
But if they do get into that, well, that's where the other study comes into play. And if more than one person at a time wants to have their study room or utilize the study room, well, that's where, all right, now it's time to expand. Here, it's time to build another study room. It's time to build another prayer room. And that'd be that.
And so it's that makes it all the more important to have that study area and make it according how the Lord wants. So that, well, he may not necessarily, if you go to build another one, tell you to do it exactly like that, but at least, and there'll be he'll most likely use some of what's in the first one anyway.
So, in Quentin, the way because I haven't got the other room set up yet. But if they, I don't know, I think that's because I'm back and forth not knowing exactly what the Lord wants from me just yet. I don't know I think I'm supposed to make one more of those rooms into a prayer room, and then one of the rooms into a devotional room with a bed in it. And then the other room, I'm thinking is either going to get used as a closet or to extend my office. I'm not sure which yet. But if the Lord doesn't have me to do any of that, and he does end up instructing me to make the rest of them or more of them into a prayer room, the way I feel that at the moment that if that happens, that I'm supposed to do it is, okay, set it up the exact same as the one I have now, but put one difference in each prayer room, each additional prayer room, because the prayer room right now that I'm using, it has to be a communal prayer room. If anybody else comes in and they want to use the prayer room, there it is. And it has to be that way because it's the only prayer room there at the moment.
Right.
But once I get in another prayer room there, that prayer room that's there right now, that one is going to be 100% mine. Nobody else uses it.
Oh.
That way, for those that go into it over time that don't have the right heart, the purest of heart, they're not bringing that darkness into that room.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not having to do an exorcism on that room every single time.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not. I mean, granted, I'm probably gonna have to do, if I catch it, I'm probably gonna have to do some sort of a form of exorcism anyway. But that one room, once I get another one built, that one room is just, I just feel like it's got to be a completely sacred place that is for me and God alone, and nobody else at all enters into that one room.
Yeah.
The rest of the place, whatever, well, there'll be my bedroom and which my bedroom and office kind of all one. So people will probably from time to time be in my office, which means they'll be in my bedroom.
Yeah.
But if at some point the Lord has me to instead expand my office, then I'll probably build some sort of, not necessarily a full wall, but maybe a half wall between the office and the bedroom.
Oh, it's the curtain.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever the Lord leads. I mean, it could be that. I haven't ever thought about it, but it
Yeah.
could be. But so if I do ever expand the office, then I'll have room to be able to separate the office from the bedroom with some sort of wall, whatever kind of wall it would be.
Mm.
And at that point, then yes, the bedroom would be my personal space. Nobody can go into it. But as it stands, there's not one room in the church that nobody's allowed to enter into. I mean, my workshop area, my bedroom, and my office would be, you better have permission and have a good reason for going in there.
Right.
But the rest of everything, free reign.
Yeah.
But the prayer room, once there's an additional one, the prayer room would be, there's never a good reason, and you're never getting permission to go into that one. That's a sacred one between me and God alone, and that's that. And if I ever catch somebody entering it, once there's another one built for everybody else, there's gonna be a righteous anger come up from it. I mean, now, I say that, but I guess there would be exceptions, for people that I know that I've examined the fruits of for a period of time, and I know 100%. They're not going to bring darkness into that room. You, Brother Mike, somebody like y'all. But outside of you two, there's nobody else that I would trust to go into that room and keep it 100% sacred. And if I do allow it, and I do examine somebody's fruits and find them worthy to be able to go ahead and use that particular room, then on top of that, I'm going to tell them the strict instructions that the Lord has given to me and how to operate in that room. And if I find that they so much as, if they even kind of wince at the idea, and I see it, I'll shut it down. I won't allow them in there, whether it's you or anybody. Because if you can't strictly uphold what the Lord has told me how to adhere to the rules of that particular room, then no. Because it's no different than entering any other 100% holy, sacred place.
Yeah, we should have that in both places, yeah.
So, I do think that just as I know I need to get a second prayer room built, at the minimum a second one, maybe more, probably more. Actually, I know there needs to be more. But just as I know that I need to build more than one in Quinton, same goes for Uvalde. I know that we need to build more than one there. But we start with what we have first. We get that done, then the Lord can guide us, but we don't need to concern ourselves with anything past the first one until it's completed and we've spent time in there
Right.
and listened to the Lord. Then we can entertain thoughts.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting kind of a rough. I don't know, I'm sensing maybe where the Lord's going, but, yeah, you need to just take it one step at a time. I'm seeing where it might be the Lord, it might be a good idea for every resident to have their own prayer room, you know?
I think it would be.
Yeah. I've been thinking that for a while, it keeps coming back to
But
me.
in order for that to happen, I mean,
Yeah. I know, one step at a time, yeah.
financially,
Yeah, I know.
you know, so,
But, yeah, if the Lord wants it, he'll provide.
exactly.
Where he guides, he'll provide, so,
I mean, it's,
yeah.
you know, I mean, he provides, he always does.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, but we gotta do it in his time and his way.
Mhm. And I mean, if it's an absolute, you know, don't have the money to get exactly what the Lord wants us to get in that precise moment, but we want to be able to use the room and do all that we can, then I think in that case, it would be okay for a time being to do whatever is necessary, you know, redneck it, whatever,
Yeah.
if it's the only option. And
Right.
but as soon as it's not the only option, as soon as there's any extra money to get that, then you correct it immediately.
Right, it's kinda like what I'm facing now with the car. Well, the car's straightened out, so maybe I don't need to concern myself with that. So that's,
Are you thinking in concerns to what's more important, the car or the prayer room? Because if it's not for that reason, that starter needs to be dealt with. It's,
yeah, well, I get
ASAP.
that's the only thing, yeah.
But I mean, if it comes to which is more important, the prayer room or getting the starter replaced,
Yeah,
the prayer room's always, I mean, that's one thing that's just,
Okay.
it's more important.
so that confirms what I was thinking. I need to find out about the cost of a couple things and get those, and then, once I get those, then, you know, see if there's room for the money for the starter, so, yeah, there's
Right.
like 2 things left.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest with you. If I was the one over there building it, and the Lord told me, I want this and I want that. Now granted, this is if I'm driving the car, that car,
Mhm.
okay, dealing with the problem every day, and building the prayer room at the same time and trying to listen to the Lord. If it's me, if I have to chance that starter going out and not having use of that car for a while in order to build the prayer room to specifications to what the Lord has told me, I'm picking the prayer room.
yeah,
And, you know, the good thing for us is that, you know, you have the Murano to fall back on.
right,
And of course, I have, you know, whatever else to fall back on my end if say the same thing happened. But even if I didn't have it to fall back on, I still truly believe I would put the prayer room priority,
Yeah, yeah.
even if it put me on foot.
he's gotta be first. Look at all the saints that used to walk on foot for countless miles every day, you know?
Mhm.
That's the least we can do, really,
Yeah.
when it gets down to it.
But we are blessed, and we're not ever going to be on foot unless we're just really ignorant and don't have money for fuel.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got, you know, there's enough vehicles around. We're not going to be on foot. But
yeah,
and so in this moment, it's easier said than done.
right.
You know, for us versus maybe anybody listening to us and doing
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
And especially if you just can't find yourself walking in the fullness of faith and obedience,
Right,
you know, and fear interjects in there, and
Yeah.
you entertain the fear, well, you're just not gonna be able to pull it off. You have to have full 100% unadulterated faith and obedience to God, knowing He's going to provide, knowing He's going to take care of you. And He will. I mean, it's no different than when He told Abraham, I want you to sacrifice your son.
Right.
Abraham, he was like, of course, he's devastated. He's probably, I can just imagine, he's without understanding, like, why, Lord, why? I don't understand. This is my son. This is my only, I think it was his only son, right? Just absolute devastation. But still yet, he knew it was God that spoke to him and told him to do it. He knew that God would not tell him to do anything that would harm people in a manner that was inconsistent with, souls being saved and lives spent in eternity or whatever. And so he was willing to do it. He went the whole 9 yards and was just fixing to do the act when God said, okay, no, I just needed to test you. So the Lord can do the same thing with us. He'll push us right to that edge. He could allow us to be put on foot. He might even allow it for a month or two.
Well, look at your Oklahoma City trips. But now, some people, we're different. Some people, it may take a few times of that. Some it may take years. Some it may take decades. But we can't look to somebody else.
But there's a reason it would take that long.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's if they're, did you just say because they're idiots? Well,
No, obedience.
Oh. Well,
Well, yeah.
Well, saying the idiot is kind of true because
Yeah.
is spiritually an idiot because you want to do what's right and you're pressing on, you're trying, but every time a true battle is put in front of you, you fail. So the more times you fail, the longer the journey's gonna be.
Right.
That's just it, because the Lord is gonna be like, oh, son, daughter, oh, if you would have only listened to me and obeyed me, oh, if you could only see what lied ahead.
Yeah.
Now you gotta go another 10 years, walking this same path, or, 10 days or 10 years, whatever it may be, walking this path when it could have all been over right now. Or it could have been over in a week, if you'd have obeyed me today, but now because you didn't, instead of it being over in a week, it's gonna be months or years.
Yeah. And then you realize that, and you start to overcome that, and then it's what we were talking about the other day. But why, Lord? Why? When He tells you, first it's trying to hear the Lord's voice, and then it's hearing the Lord's voice, and want to question it. Like, why, Lord?
Yeah, like I was saying the other day about the trucks.
Yeah.
There's $40,000 just in a few vehicles alone, just in a few of those vehicles alone sitting there that literally don't get used at all.
Yeah.
And that's a bare minimum of 40,000 sitting there. And I'm like, Lord, why? Why am I not working? Why won't you allow me to work this stuff? Why won't you allow me to use them? Why are they just sitting here rotting into the ground? And then he says, well, if I want to let them sit there and rot to the ground, what's that to you? Well, okay, Lord, you got a point, because it really don't belong to me no how.
Yeah. Wow. That's the bottom line, and it takes us a while to get that through our heads.
Mm-hmm. If I want them to sit there and rot to the ground, what's that to you? But Lord, it's $40,000 sitting right there. So, but, I said so. I tell you, that one, as hard as it is to like wrap my mind around, it's really funny because when it gets right down to it, is any of this ours?
Yeah.
Ain't none of this really ours.
Yeah. He's given it to us all.
Yeah.
We need to die to our self-interest,
Mm-hmm.
and realize He knows best, and everything's His anyway.
Yeah. And maybe that's why, because I'm going to ask the Lord, why did you have me to buy this stuff out of the ministerial funds? Because that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you have me buy all this equipment out of ministerial funds for the ministry for it to just sit there? If I want to let it sit there and rot to the ground, what's up to you? But, so then I asked him, well, if that's the case, why? Because that money could have been used for things so much more productive. In my timing, son, in my timing. Okay, so I can't see it right now. Maybe I won't see it for 5, 10 more years, but eventually, someday, the Lord will tell me why He had me to buy that stuff, and then the fruits will show. I hope it don't take 10 years.
Yeah.
Because I'd hate to think of all the repairs that's going to be needed in 10 years' time.
That's a big example of it.
Yeah.
My little ones are like, I go to Walmart, go down this aisle, go. Why? Oh, that's on sale. Well, I don't need that, buy it anyway, it's a good price. Then I'll buy it, I won't use it for a couple months, and then, oh, it's so-and-so's birthday, oh, they would love that, that's who it's for. Yeah, you never know, when you're walking with the Lord, it's really neat to, when it comes to either, especially spiritually, when you come across people who are just either hungry or thirsty or just such need that they're just open, you know, and you're like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do, you know, the Lord is moving. It's all worthwhile.
Yeah. Yeah, and I tell you what, when the Lord does finally reveal things, just like when He finally reveals why He had me buy all them silly vehicles to just sit there. But when He does finally reveal things, it's like, duh! And you had doubts?
Yeah.
Really? As many times as we go through this,
Yeah.
Brian?
Yeah.
And this is like just me talking to myself. Really, Brian? Why was you doubting all this? You know better. You've been down this road too many times to keep doing the same old doubting. So, but not to confuse doubt with doubt. Don't really seem like it makes sense, but it does. I guess there's 2 degrees of doubting. One degree of doubting is doubting with action, meaning the action from the doubt is allowing fear to come in, and so you're not obedient, and you just go off on your own way. But there's a kind of doubt where you can doubt, and that's okay, just so long as you're obedient to what God called you to do anyway, even though you don't understand it, so you're doubting it. But that doubt isn't infiltrated into what you're actually doing in your actual obedience to what God called you to do. Just no different than faith. No, as long as you have faith, at least as big as a grain of a mustard seed. Okay? You don't have to have full-blown faith for things to work, but you got to at least have that mustard seed faith. So, a little bit of faith goes a long ways. Same as a little bit of doubt could go a long ways. I don't know, that ain't seeming to make sense. It makes sense in my head, but it's not coming out in words. Whatever.
I'm like, Lord, I know you can do it, but are you really going to do it for me? I don't know.
For me, that's a wrong question.
No, that's fine.
It shouldn't be about me.
That's true. That's true. Well, He wants us to be willing and unobedient, so there's got to be words and actions in order to be fruit, the degree of fruit. But that's something like that. You can have a little doubt in there, and you can have some fruit, but if you don't have any doubt in any of the words or actions,
The long and the short of the whole thing, it's okay to have a little bit of doubt, just as long as that doubt does not interfere with anything at all that the Lord has told you to do.
right.
As long as you're obedient.
Yeah.
Don't let the doubt affect the degree of your obedience.
Yeah, there you go.
So, okay to have doubt, just don't let it affect your obedience. And faith without works is dead.
Amen. Old chapter in James about that.
So as long as your faith outweighs your doubt, we're good.
There you go. That's good. That's a solid.
Are you trying to keep the cup?
See, we know about that. That's a perfect example of how we create problems where there's such an easy solution that it just escapes us.
Yeah. I don't think we got any more trash. I'm gonna tie this up.
Is it? Oh, no, that's yours. Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
take the honey with you. I've got plenty of honey at the church. I bet you I got more honey than you do. Well,
Oh, wait, no.
well, sorry about that. Did they get on your hand?
No, I took back in time. I'm not sure what that was, but.
I
Okay.
don't know. I guess this is the trash over here.
I guess. No. Oh. Let's see what time it is.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess, is I think I'm starting to have to use the bathroom, and I know you've got to use it by now from what you said when you was first getting here.
I'm okay, but. Yeah.
I think what we'll do, that duck is still sitting there. That just quacks me up.
I wonder if I could go over there and pet it.
Try it. You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think.
You might actually get away with it because you're a sweet, sweet old lady. Me now, I'm just kind of, the roughneck guy, and it's like, get away from me.
Well, about a piece of bread in my hand.
You might. Where's that one?
There's still some over there though, but.
Oh, you don't want to pick up what you've already laid out for them. That wouldn't set well with them. Here, you want to take more with you?
Well, yeah, might as well get before we go, kind of give them a goodbye.
Yeah. That was strange. All right. Y'all see that? Yeah, I think y'all can. Do what? Yeah, he's telling you that was close enough.
Let's back up before I eat it.
Now he's gonna sit and face you.
I want to make sure you're gone.
Right? I have never seen a duck just sit there like that for so long. That is definitely different.
Yeah.
Some across the water there.
Oh.
Well, I think with what's left, maybe we'll just go up, get in the car, and we'll go use the bathroom, and then maybe we'll distribute this in other locations. Where
Okay.
maybe the geese haven't realized we're here.
Want me to take something here?
Yep, I'll put this in the car, don't want to forget the viewers.
this duck right here, I don't know if it gotten it in the rest of the film, so I'll just show it here. But that duck has sat, he's now moving, but he has sat under that bench pretty much the whole time we've been here for almost 2 hours. Yep, pretty white little duck. All right, I'm moving along, ducky. You don't have to worry. Let's see here. Hey. All right, so. How can I help you?
I come up here earlier to
Yep.
simply ask you about moving the trailer house. And I would appreciate it if you get me off that damn internet.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, I mean, that man just...
I'm just saying. I come up here to ask about moving a trailer house. And then y'all want to tag Pittsburgh County in it and all this. Hey, I don't even get on the internet, but when I got people bringing it to me and showing it to me,
Okay, well, there's a right way and a wrong way to approach
exactly.
things.
I know, and I've got MS, and I'm unstable anyways.
Well, there's
I'm
a right...
an outlaw. And what is this?
Ma'am,
Outlaw Reformed Church.
Ma'am, can you
And
listen?
why
Can you
why
listen?
Broadway?
Can you listen to me for a minute?
Yeah, I can listen.
If you'll be...
I ain't got a problem with it.
If you'll be calm, there's a right way and a wrong way to approach things. Being calm and civilized is the right thing.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just a little mad.
Oh, I get it. Who's
Okay.
coming up here?
I don't know. No clue. No, I don't care.
Well, till they leave, I'm going to have to lock the door. Well, I'm verifying that. Well, I'm going to verify that on my cameras. Give me just a minute. I'm waiting for them to disappear. Because there's another person out there now. Who is it? What's up?
That I regret ever coming to ask.
Okay.
Will you please get me off the internet? Huh?
Tell me why I should.
Why you should? Because I come up here asking. I don't want to be on your. I'm not talking to you until you come out here away from all these cameras.
Oh, that's not happening, so you can talk on camera or off camera.
I'd appreciate it if you take that nonsense off the camera. I don't want to be on camera. This is ridiculous. And I cannot believe you're exploiting this stuff on the internet when I come to you for a simple question. And I can't help it that my neighbors come up here behind me. Whenever they hear someone's voice in distress because they're aggravated or over something, you know what I mean? They're gonna come. I can't help it that you've made people mad. I don't know nothing about it. Don't care.
Okay.
But I was gonna ask you about moving the trailer house, but I obviously don't want your help no more.
Well,
Okay, so put it all on the internet. That is so stupid. Why
Why
don't
is-
you grow up?
grow up. As many death threats as
Hey,
I've had,
I can't help that. I don't know nothing about it. Don't care.
obviously.
Let me get my camera out and just film you too.
By all means.
That's ridiculous.
By
Please
all
stop.
means.
I'm not here to call and don't the devil and all that stuff on the internet talking about. I know God. Okay? God walks with me every day.
Listen, if you had a true walk with him, you wouldn't use his name in vain so many times as you did.
God, I'm not supposed to say God, the good Lord.
No, that's not what you said.
What did I say?
You know what you said.
I don't know what I said.
intentionally
I
bleeped.
don't remember.
You said his name in vain, and
because
I bleeped
was
it out.
mad. You bleeped it out. Well, you should bleep it all out. I come to you to ask you a simple question.
Well, I don't believe that because.
Well, you're thinking wrong.
Well, can I? Is this a
You
conversation?
You can tell me all about your wrong thinking. Yes, you sure can. Go ahead.
Because it's either a conversation or it's a one-sided deal.
Okay, can we sit down and maybe talk like normal people?
As much attacks as I've been under, and you're a female.
I'm not trying to attack you in any kind of way.
Yeah, I've got to be very, very cautious.
I hate it that you've made this life for yourself.
I
That you're
don't.
scared like that.
I'm not scared.
Well,
I'm observant.
Okay, observe.
And I'm cautious.
Observe all you want. I'm nothing to fear.
And don't worry, only your audio's on the camera, so
I'm
you hold your
nothing
hand
to
there.
fear. I'm nothing to fear.
Well, you might not be, but others are.
Well,
And actually, not for me, they're not, because I don't fear anybody.
well, I hope not. You shouldn't.
Because once my time
You're a
comes,
soldier of God. You shouldn't.
I'm going to be in a much better place.
You
So
know
as long as
that.
I know that I did all that I knew to do while I was on earth, no matter the cost, I'm good with it.
Okay. Okay. Great. Me too.
Now, back to the subject at hand. Okay.
The subject of the hand was I was going to ask you about a trailer house.
Well,
Moving a trailer house.
here's why I don't believe that.
Why wouldn't you believe that? I'm walking to my brother's house. It's 2 blocks away. and I see a truck that may move a trailer house.
So how did you get here?
Walked.
You walked all the
I walked
times?
from my house. No, I don't walk. I don't walk all the time. It was a beautiful day. So I was walking to my brother's.
Okay.
My brother lives 2 blocks down
So
the road.
every time you came up here today, you've walked?
No.
Okay.
Not this last time. I got a ride and she dropped me off.
Okay.
And yes, I got a ride whenever I left here.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know. Those people just pulled up behind me. They heard me ranting because I was aggravated because you'd exploited all that on the internet. But when I was just simply stopping by on my way to my brother's to ask you about a trailer house.
Okay. Well, it's
Moving a
amazing.
trailer house.
It's amazing every time
But
I
I'm not
went.
going to sit and argue with you. I've told you the truth.
Every time I went to
Okay.
explain why I don't believe you,
Yeah, do
you
it.
seem to switch the topic and
No,
like, try to move
let's
past.
hear it. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Because I
First-
know I'm telling the truth.
Okay, well, if you are, then great. But here's
Yeah.
why I don't believe it. I'm not
And-
saying you're not telling the truth.
and
Here's
please-
why. Okay, first off, you come here, all right, then you leave with Michael, okay?
Okay, he walked off and walked another way, and I continued walking to my brother's.
Can I finish explaining? Okay, so first off, you did that. This man is on that list.
He had
Yet,
to tell me who he was.
yet somehow the next thing
He
I
had
know,
to tell me who he was.
the next thing I know, this man that has been in my church or in this church here sat and broke bread
This
with
used to
me.
be my grandma's beauty shop.
Okay, great.
ago.
Okay, great. You keep trying to sidetrack here. Okay.
No, I'm
this man that has broke bread with me, has been friendly with me, has opened up to me, all of a sudden starts calling me these despicable names, accusing me of something that's not true when in fact it is for him, right after
Have
you
you-
and him left together.
Have you-
Now,
We
there's
did
the
not
next
leave
issue.
Together. We just he
Well, whether you left together or you didn't, that's
we walked off
okay. Now, the next thing.
because
Okay.
you said that's what you said. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The next thing is I heard what you were saying outside the door.
What?
Okay, which I actually didn't have a clue who you was until you
No.
told on yourself.
What about?
Okay,
What
one
did I,
you know,
what about?
one you know where my generator is.
I don't know nothing. I wasn't talking. That was Katie.
Okay, well then you know somebody who does know.
That's
where
my
it is.
neighbor.
You
I can't
probably-
help it. My neighbor followed me down here. I don't know anything. I don't
Okay.
know what you're talking about, and I hate it that you
And
had
then-
stolen stuff. I
and
cannot
then-
stand a thief.
Then you go and get back
I
in the.
cannot stand a thief.
I hear the words, but then you go and get back in the same car that has been vandalizing things around
Are
here.
you really recording all this?
I'm recording the audio.
Golly, man.
I'm not recording you, but I'm recording the audio. I have to for my own protection.
aggravating. I have MS. I have problems anyway.
You know, I
You
feel
have
sorry
done
for a
nothing
lady
but
that
upset
cries,
me
but
today.
I have also experienced ladies that can cry on will and bragged about it.
I
So,
don't care what you've experienced. This is just me and I'm talking. So don't compare me to others.
well, I'm just explaining my
I
position.
don't even care anymore.
And that's the problem. A
Now,
person
why
that
would
doesn't
I?
care,
Why would you upset me like this?
well, let's see, how did it start?
Hey, I'm sorry I ever stopped by here. I wish you'd have changed my mind about who you was.
Yeah, that's always the last resort is to try to
I
put a
mean-
guilt trip on me. I've
No,
been,
I'm not. I'm not trying to put no kind of trip on you, sir.
well,
Not
you,
none. And if you're a child of God, boy, because this
know
is
my
not
place.
how you do it.
well, it is when you come under attack like I do.
Well, I can't help none of that. I don't know about none of that. Don't care about none of that. Don't care.
And that's the problem that you don't
Why
care.
wouldn't I? Why would I care about nonsense?
Every-
It doesn't matter.
Everything I've said to you, you say I don't care to it.
Because
You should care about
this is
something in
nonsense,
life.
Though I do care about something in life.
Just not anything to do with anybody that you don't really know, but you want to,
Yeah,
you know,
I do
pull
care.
some shenanigans
Hey,
with.
I'm a very caring person.
Well, you look like you are,
I am.
but today's actions have spoken differently.
No, they haven't. Because I was aggravated because you put me on the internet. Because I stopped by here to ask you about moving to the trailer house.
Yeah, well, you told me there was nobody else here, it was you alone, and
I
then,
am here alone.
well,
I came back alone, made sure nobody followed me, didn't I?
earlier you
But
told me
I
that,
can't help it that they
and
done that.
earlier you told me that, and
And
there
if
was
you put
multiple
this on
people
the
flanking
internet,
this
sir,
church.
Sir, isn't it illegal to do that?
What's that?
Film people and put them on the internet. like
Not in
that.
this state.
Well, it's rude.
Well,
I
It's
guess
also
you're
me
just a rude
protecting
little
myself.
man, huh?
huh?
Are you just a rude little man like that?
Well, if that's
You
what
just
you want to
like
call me,
Upset women?
if that's what you want to say about me,
Oh, I don't know who you are, but you're not.
I know.
being any
I've heard
kind of
it all.
godly way.
I know. I've heard it all before.
You have.
I've heard every ploy,
Okay,
every line of
okay.
the
Well,
evil
I don't
one.
have to be the one to tell you.
Always
that.
trying to condemn me for my actions.
I don't want to be the one to have to tell you that. That's not my place, anyways, to judge you.
Well, you're joining the group with all the thousands that
I'm not
have.
joining no kind of group. Did I not come back to talk to you face to face?
Well, it hasn't been too much of a two-sided
Hey,
conversation.
well, let's sit down and let's have a conversation.
I can't do that.
Wow.
I just can't do that.
This is supposed to be a church?
Yeah, and it is.
It is?
It is.
Well,
And
let
lots
me
of
in the
people get
church.
help through this
Let me
ministry.
in the church.
Hey, that's not happening. No,
Wow, you won't let me in the church.
no. I could
Because
just
I'm
imagine.
reforming outlaws.
I could just imagine the lies that would get spread, the things that get told if I let you in this church.
Who cares?
I do, and I care for my freedom.
hey.
I don't want to go to prison.
Why would you go to prison?
I'm not going to
Hey,
go
we
down
can
that
sit
road.
down right here.
Yeah, I don't want a chance having the
You
church
need to
flanked
talk to
either.
God? Huh?
I'm not going to chance having the church flanked either. And
Flanked? Church flanked.
yeah, like it was earlier.
I don't know what you're talking about.
People
man.
surrounding the church.
No. I can't help it the neighbors followed me down here.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they're mad over something else that happened. But then they got, they're, I don't know what happened between y'all. Don't care. I mean, over her picking up a rock or something out
well,
of the ditch. And then you exploit them on the internet like that.
exploit them.
Yeah.
Somebody's doing wrong, and it's called exploiting them.
Yeah, you're exploiting them.
I'm exploiting them.
Yes, doing nothing.
I'm calling them out on their nonsense.
Doing nothing.
Doing nothing. Vandalizing the retaining
Just
wall is
because
doing nothing.
I tried to stop by here and ask you a question. Do you not feel that you violated me in every kind of way?
Not a
Well,
bit.
you did.
Well, I'm sorry you feel that way.
I mean, I forgive you, though. It's okay.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, I'm just wondering, wow, who are you anyways?
This is
Where did you come from? I've lived on this road my entire life.
well, I come from two places. I'm a child of God that come from my mama's womb.
Okay.
Created by God.
Okay. And what?
Created by God.
Created by God. Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. And what landed you in my grandma's old beauty shop?
The Lord.
The Lord did?
He directed me right to the building.
Okay.
Told me this is
Now,
where I was supposed to be.
Why is this reforming outlaws?
Because I'm an old outlaw reformed.
You used to be an outlaw.
Many, many times.
What have you done that made you an outlaw?
Oh, hon, you just research it. Just research.
Research it.
Do your
I
homework.
don't want to look you up and all that bull. I
Well,
want you to tell me.
why should I brag about
Hey,
old
I'm not
ways that I
asking-
am?
I'm not asking you to brag.
That's what it would be. If I sat here and told you all the things that made me an outlaw, it would be me bragging. And that's a man that's dead and gone. And I should not remember those things
You
anymore.
better remember it because that makes you who you are today.
It is. I only remember it, though, when the Lord tells me to for testimonial purposes. And this is not a testimonial purpose.
Well, I'm not trying to make it be.
I understand that.
Okay.
Are we done here?
Get me off the internet.
You know,
Get me off the internet.
the whole time you've been here.
Yeah, we're done, sir.
Okay.
Stop by here again. Thanks for all the help.
Yep. And all the time that she was here, she could not apologize. Here she's knocking again.
Please take me off the internet.
In all the time that you were here,
Please.
in all
Please.
in all the time that you were here, never once really a true apology, but instead
I
turning
mean, what do I have
turning
to
the blame on
apologize
me.
about? I'm sorry that if something made me mad earlier. I'm sorry that something made me mad, but quit exploiting me on the internet when I've done nothing but come to you and ask for help.
You've disrespected the Lord.
I've
You've
disrespected
tried
the Lord.
every tactic today, blaming me.
I'm gonna sit down right here because my legs are hurting.
Okay.
So let's continue on.
You've been blaming
What
me,
I've done wrong.
gaslighting me, ba-
Gaslighting.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're a narcissist, but you have sure demonstrated a lot of narcissistic tendency today.
Hey, and this is between you and I, not us in the world here. Quit exploiting me on the internet.
Well, I'm sorry you call it exploiting.
Well, how else how else is it? And if you're putting this on the internet, man, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you.
I'm not sure either when you can't
I
give a
guess the good
sincere
Lord called me
apology.
here, but I don't guess I'm getting. Oh, I can't believe I let you upset me like this.
Okay, well, I can see we're going nowhere with this. I'm going to shut the door and lock it.
Oh, okay. Don't invite me into the church.
Boy, she wants in this church awful bad. It'd be the stupidest move I'd ever make if I actually let her in this church. My butt would end up in prison so fast, I wouldn't even know what hit me. This makes the 4th time now, I believe, that she's came here. This is very interesting that she just disappeared around that bus, and she hasn't, because there's she just disappeared around that bus, and she has to walk up to that street in order to get out of here. Oh, there she goes. Oh, whoops. Oh, there's another car to pick her up, a whole different car. This is going to get real interesting.